So it is day 3 for Chrissy and her babies to be outside. They have the run to themselves. What I do is I let the rest of the chickens out. They're loving that little tree area over there. So I let the rest of the chickens out, and then I come and close this door so they can't come into the run through the coop. I have the door to the big door to the coop open so they can run for cover if there's a hawk or anything around. And then the babies, I open the little door from the brooder hatch, let the babies out, and they have the run to themselves. And this also works good for integrating the chickens because these guys all hang around and they all get to know the babies. So once they're old enough, I just start putting them on the perch at night with the rest of the chickens, and they kind of already know each other. So this system has worked really, really well for us, and we never planned it this way. It's just kind of added on. Like that door wasn't there, the brooder wasn't there. We've got the bigger coop. But it's working out awesome for separating a chicken like Baldy had to be. And then now for these guys, that's what I did with Ruby's clutches, was I had them in here. The other chickens are all around already, always seeing them, you know, so they're part of the group kind of, but can't get picked on. And then I basically wait for the mama to make the decision. Once she walks away from them, says, "I've had it, you're old enough," goes back to the coop and starts laying eggs. Then I start putting them on. I leave them for a few days together, let them come out here on their own, and then I start putting them on the perch at night with the rest of the chickens, and they're kind of already integrated because the other chickens all know them and are around them and everything. So it's worked. It's a system that's worked out just great for us. So anyway, she'll spend, I don't know how much time, I can't remember how much time she spends with them, but they basically kind of get to half grown before they can be integrated with the other ones. That's what I've found anyway. So, I mean, some of these little guys are just getting their tail feathers because the younger ones are behind the ones that hatched first. You can see some of them still just have the little fluffy butts and no tail feathers at all. And others have pretty pronounced tail feathers. It's not hard to tell which ones hatched first. So, now I guess I'm going to have to figure out names, but I guess I got to figure out if they're hens or roosters first. I did the little wing test. You know, you spread their wings out and see what the shape is, and according to what I've seen online, they're all hens, and I really don't have too much faith in my luck that all 8 of these are hens. So, that yellow one right there is clearly the first one because it's so big. Its wings are pretty much touching the tail feathers. And the other little yellow one, the wings are not even halfway down his back. Oh, they love that little treat area. So, and we put the netting up last year too. We keep adding stuff to this run because one of the chicks that we ordered last year did get taken by a hawk, and there was just a little pile of feathers in here. So that was upsetting. Probably a hen. Anyway, I've got to get to work, and we'll leave Chrissy and their babies to have some fun. I get so excited about those babies, I almost forgot to show you what we've got done in here. Chris got the rest of the ceiling boards up, the rest of the wiring done down to this end. We're not going to put the end wall in just yet. Oh, actually, I think we are going to do it before we insulate. I've already called the guy about insulation, and we're not going to put the wall in between the bedroom and living room until the insulation's done. Typically it's not insulated, so we'll just leave it wide open and it'll make it an easier job for him to do. Now Chris is putting tape. He called for tuck tape. That's what we did last time, but it's so expensive, and this stuff is super sticky. We tested it first to see if it would stick well enough, and it is. So that'll cost a lot less money to do. So Chris has done the ceiling already. Hard to see because it's clear. So he's gonna put that on that way. When the insulation is done, we just peel it all off, and the studs are nice and clean to put our boards on. So we will also take the plywood out now, because obviously the flooring needs to be insulated too. And yeah, we're pretty much ready. You can see where he's left spaces, you know, so that the insulation can get in behind everything. And so we will get this last wall framed after he gets the tape done, and we'll get the window installed, so that'll be exciting. We got quite a bit of rain last night, so there's still water sitting around, which is kind of nice. We've had very little rain. I think we've had more rain this year than we have in the last 3 years. I think it was 2020 it rained non-stop. Chickens are having a heyday out there in the dirt, fertilizing up for next year's. We're going to do 3 more of these raised beds. So, oh my goodness, I don't have boots on and there's just a huge amount of water laying here. I've got whippersnipping done around these little trees just to here. You can see how shaggy this one is. Of course, I'm terrible for zapping the trunk of the tree. That's why some of these are so scruffy looking, because I've whacked them at one point or another. But my shoulders are too sore from doing the whippersnipping the other day, so that's going to have to wait. I'll go as close as I can maybe with the little mower, because that gets them pretty good. Here comes Buddy and his girls, his little harem. He's just so happy now that he's the only guy. Of course, it's going to be hard if some of these babies are roosters and I have to either get rid of them or sacrifice them or something. Just not sure. Those 2 little black hens are the tiniest still. So I'm really hoping they're hens. I hope they're all hens. We're going to take the OSB out of there now so Chris can get the bottom half of the 2x3s taped off. And then we're ready to roll on the end wall. So we're just going to put them over there in front of the greenhouse instead of over here on the driveway, because they'll end up being in the way. They won't be here very long. Chris had this wall almost done and the window was too high to suit me, so I put in a change order and made him tear it all apart. But it would have been goofy looking, because when I looked out the window from the inside, it was like the windowsill was here, so I was like... So it looks much better now. So he's just got the cripples ready to go up above there. I do believe he's going to leave the window out until after the insulation to make it easier for the installer to just put the hoses through the window. That's going to be a nice big window. Get lots of fresh air in there, going right through the house. Just 2 little strips.
Because I use these here, my rough opening is an inch bigger.
Got enough staples left for that piece? Well, Chris just has to finish taping all the studs, and we are ready for insulation. He has confirmed he's coming Monday, and then Tuesday we'll be able to install that bedroom window, and we have to let it sit for a day or 2 because of the spray foam, and I think we'll probably head to town next week and get the plywood for the walls. And then it's paint and flooring and moving in. I'm so excited. And we need a tiny bit of Tyvek to finish this. The roll's pretty much gone, but our friends have some. So we've got the temporary plastic over the window. We've got plastic cut to wrap this side of the door so that it doesn't get any spray foam on it. And we have a piece of plastic that we're gonna put over this passageway so that nothing comes in here. And we're pretty much ready. Chris has to finish taping the studs tomorrow, and we're ready.